Quick question. Why are you so patient with stupidity and theft in your business? michaelmclean.coach. If you landed here from another planet, you can subscribe to my daily videos like this, my broken iPhone, ugly walking videos at michaelmclean.coach. I'm a former professional hockey coach, team owner, franchise team owner, turned 7-figure entrepreneur with an 8-figure net worth. Warning, I am not every entrepreneur's cup of whiskey. So a question for you today as a founder, as a CEO, as a small business owner like me, entrepreneur, coach, leader, husband, father. Why are you so patiently tolerating stupidity and theft in your business? You can mark this up as video number 8 of my Century Club badass copywriting and marketing pro tips. This is a big one. I'll tell you a story. I'll share with you a story from the insurance business. When I was in the insurance business and I was getting started 22 years ago, one of the things I knew is that copywriting and marketing was going to be the only thing that could save my bacon. I had to pay my dad $30,000 a month for 10 years to buy the insurance agency. And after 3 months, I realized that I was going to go bankrupt and I was going to be personally humiliated in my family, in my community, and all the naysayers would be able to say, told you so, knew he couldn't run daddy's company, knew he would burn it to the ground. So copywriting, and especially email copywriting and direct mail, saved my bacon. It literally allowed me to turn it around and to eventually purchase my dad's agency over 7.5 years instead of the 10, by actually increasing my monthly payments once we got going. So a true outhouse to the penthouse story. But the reason being is I was able to do it because I had zero patience for stupidity and zero patience for employee theft. I don't care if you have 1 employee or you have 10 employees or you have somebody working online from India, or you have 23 employees like I used to have when they all showed up. Does not matter. Employee stupidity and theft costs billions and billions of dollars per year in North America because guys like us tolerate it. You will get what you tolerate. And whatever you tolerate, you will what? You'll get more of that, personally and professionally. So I'll share with a story about having high standards and not tolerating stupidity and not tolerating theft in my business. Way back in my first couple years in the insurance business, I realized that we had to capture and build an email list. We didn't have any of our clients' emails. We had, I think, 3,000 clients at the time. My dad had a good size agency. We didn't have anybody's email at the time. We didn't have anybody's cell number. So I finally decided that my marketing play here to survive would be sending emails and mailing flyers. Copywriting 101, direct response marketing 101. If I didn't do it, I had no chance to win. So I had a team meeting with my 9 people or 6 people. I think it was 6 people at the time, including my dad and myself. We had 4 employees. And I sat down and I handed them a script to use on the phone. Whenever a human being was standing in front of them, they were to capture the person's email. Whether the person was a buyer, was a client, was a prospect. If you talked to a person or they even stood in front of you that day, your number one job was to capture their email and put it in our email list. That was the only way we were going to build our list from zero. And every email that you capture from somebody that walks in the office or you talk to on the phone, every email you put in correctly, I'm going to pay you $1. So if you put in 22 emails a day, that's a nice $22 bonus. This was 20 years ago. And so I said, here's the script for the reception team. Here's the script for my salesperson. And here's the script for our service person. I said, take this one-page script home, read it 100 times in the mirror, memorize it so that you can eat, sleep, and breathe it, and come back tomorrow and make it happen. So I coached them, I gave them the reason why, and I said, I'm going to be watching. I said, I record the phone calls, I have video in the agency. This is non-optional behavior. In other words, everybody, including myself, is going to be capturing emails from now on. We got a list of no emails and we need to build it into the thousands so that we can survive. Good, that's the plan. So they arrived the next day, and you can tell some of them, read it for 100 times and some of them didn't bother. And the morning goes very well. Everybody's capturing emails on every phone call. A person walks through the front door to pay their insurance. We're capturing their email. People are doing a great job. So I come back after lunch that day, and about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I decide, I'm watching, and I notice that one of my receptionists, I had two at the time, the backup receptionist is not doing it. It's just 100% sabotage. She doesn't give a fuck. She's like, take your dollar and stuff it. I'm not doing it, or I don't feel comfortable doing it. It doesn't feel natural to do my job. So I watched this for a few minutes, and then I said, I called her into to my office, and I said, I have a 3 strikes policy. My hockey teams, my barber shop, my coaching business, my consulting business, the insurance business, I have a 3 strikes policy. 3 strikes and you're out. Great people don't need any strikes. But the normies, the tomato cans, the low IQs, they're 3 and gone. So I call this girl into my office, and she reads a piece of paper, and I'm like, that's strike 1. What you're doing there by not capturing the email, by not using the script to capture emails, I said, is stealing. She said, what? I'm not stealing. And remember, this is how your employees think. I said, every email is worth $4 to me per year as the owner. Think about that, $4 per year. If you have a list of 200, that's 200 times 4 a year. Year after year. That's if you're no good at copywriting like I was at the time. That's if you're no good sending emails. So I said, I'm giving you $1, and that's worth $4 to me if I send emails. She said, well, it's not stealing. I said, it is stealing, and it's sabotage, and it's non-optional. And she signed the form, and that was strike 1. I said, if I catch you again not doing your job, Bill Belichick 101, do your job, I said, I'll write you up again. So, of course, that meeting spreads all through the 6 people, right? Which is what you want. Well, he means business about this, right? He means business. So, all of a sudden, everybody is back capturing emails. At the end of the day, I notice there's a big difference right immediately. All of a sudden, we're capturing 180 emails a day. Before I had the meeting, we had like 27, that kind of stuff. So that's the way teams work. You got to hold people's feet to the fire. You got to hold them accountable. You can't tolerate stupidity and theft in your business if you're going to build an email list, a mailing list, if you're going to do copywriting, marketing, and advertising. They'll sabotage your ads. They'll sabotage your marketing, oh, that's just his stupid newsletter, or that's just his dumb flyer. This is the way they'll talk to your prospects. Don't worry about that. That's a bit of a scam, I think. That kind of stuff. I mean, I gave away free pizzas. I had one of my girls that I fired on the spot say, well, I just think the whole thing is unprofessional. Here's a person making 70 grand a year who I caught on recording saying, well, I just think this free pizza thing at Thanksgiving is just a scam. Unprofessional. I fired her sorry ass. So we were good for a while. And then I decided to listen to some phone calls because I'm not there right all the time. So I go home and I listen to 20 receptionist phone calls, 20 service calls, and 10 sales calls. You know, it's like a football coach. I'm watching tape. I'm breaking down film. A good CEO breaks down film. So I call a meeting the next day, and I give the grades to all the people for capturing email. It's only 6 of us. I said, you know, you captured 3 out of 10, you captured 4 out of 10, you captured 9 out of 10. So it's all public recognition right in my home office, in my home. Everybody's sitting there on pins and needles. And then I play the recordings, just so we're clear, crystal. I play the recordings of them not asking. I go all the way through. You didn't ask here. You didn't ask here. That cost us $4. That's theft. That's stealing. That's stealing. That's stealing. And, you know, for the people that weren't doing their job, if they could have, they would have paid $1 million to get out of their seat and run away. And then I played the ones where the people were doing a great job in closing. Boom, $4. Boom, $4. Boom, $4. And doing the non-optional behavior. You know, doing what they're taught, doing their job. And it was amazing. After that meeting, I never ever had a problem with capturing information again. Whether I asked for cell numbers for marketing, whether I asked for emails for marketing, whether I asked for updated fax numbers for marketing, whether I asked for birthdays and anniversaries for marketing, I never had a problem again. And as we grew from 6 people to 10 people to 15 people to eventually 23 people when I sold the agency in 2017, the word was always put out, you better do your fucking job or he's gonna can your ass. And they were well rewarded. They were well rewarded and incentivized in all this stuff. If they captured cell numbers or emails or updated mailing addresses, they always had cash connected to it. So I ran things with an iron fist inside a velvet glove. You know, if you did your job, you showed up every day and you did your job, you had 0 problems with me. But if you outright stole from me, not capturing an email, I told the team, is like sticking your hand in the till, in the cash register. I grew up in the back of a general store. It's called a till. And it'd be like me putting my hand in my dad's cash register or till and taking $4 out and putting it in my pocket. That's the way my mindset is towards sabotage of marketing. You know, you're gonna put a lot of time and money and sweat and tears into your marketing, in your career. You're gonna put ads on social media, you're gonna shoot videos, you're gonna do all kinds, pardon me, you're gonna do all kinds of stuff to grow your business, to be able to hire more people, to build more products, to make more money, to make things a bit better. And if you have any people in your employ that are sabotaging that, that's on fucking you. That's on you. And if you're a cupcake when it comes to these things, well, you know what? They don't work for you, you work for them. That's how you become a slave in your business. That's how you become a bootlicker in life, by tolerating that horse shit from normies who just punch a clock. They don't give a shit about your business. And the second they're gone, they never think about it again. But I refuse to be a bootlicker. I refuse to work for my people. If I said come to work at 8:36, they fucking well were there at 8:36. That's the way I operate with my hockey teams, with my businesses, and it served me very well. If I say capture an email or a fax number or a cell number, that's what we're going to do. But I also coach them up. I coach them up. I record all the phone calls. I have video at reception. I have video in the sales office. I have video in the service office. So every single week, the 3 different teams would meet individually at my home office for about 45 minutes before work at 8 a.m. and I would coach them. I didn't send them out onto the field to win a national championship or a World Series and not coach them. That's on you. You give them the scripts and you coach them up every week. You listen to phone calls, you reward good behavior, and then you enforce, if you have to, non-compliance. And once they know you're listening to the phone calls and you're watching the videos and there's eyes everywhere, all of a sudden you're going to have compliance. Until then, keep your marketing dollars in your pocket. You know what? If you're being patient, if you're tolerating stupidity and theft in your business, that's called marketing malpractice. That's called marketing malpractice. It's not that anti-social media ads aren't working. It's not that your email marketing isn't working. It's not that your newsletter isn't working. It's not that your referral program isn't working. It's not that your cross-sell program isn't working. You've got people in your business that are sabotaging it. They're putting their hands in the till. They've got their hands in the till and they're not doing their job and you're tolerating it. You're being patient with stupidity and theft. And in my world, there's nothing worse than a thief. A thief is right there with a liar. A thief is right there with a quitter. So in my world, I don't cater to quitters. You quit my newsletter, you unsubscribe from my videos, you unsubscribe from my email list, you quit my mastermind, you're fucking dead to me. I'm unlike everybody else. I don't cater to quitters. And I don't cater to liars, and I don't cater to thieves. And you know what? It's on me if I don't coach them, if I don't teach them, if I don't monitor it for compliance. And then the big one, the brass balls move that separates guys that make 5 figures from 6 and 7, is I'm willing to enforce the standards. Like Bill Parcells said, if I see something I don't like, I make a change. This is my world, my business, my family, my universe. And you know what? I don't work for them. They work for me. Big mindset shift difference. That's it for today. That's a big one. That's a big one. Stop tolerating and giving patience to stupidity and to theft. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's wrong. It's against your principles and your values. And they're trying to show you that you work for them. Are you kidding me? Goodbye. There's lots of great people out there. Plus you can automate a lot of jobs. You're not a slave. You're not a bootlicker. They either comply what you coach and enforce or they don't. But stop tolerating marketing malpractice. If you want help with your marketing, your copywriting, your advertising, your direct mail, all of that stuff, I'm starting a brand new print newsletter. Another one. I know Marc-Andre says I've got brain damage for doing it. It's going to be a simple 8-page print, paper and ink newsletter every month starting in February. If you want to subscribe and have it arrive in your mailbox each and every month, it's called Michael McLean's Badass Copy. The link is below, badasscopy.coach. badasscopy.coach. You can subscribe there. I got a wicked bonus for you. I'm going to include a $30,000 Champions Mastermind training as a free bonus if you subscribe today with my pal Doberman Dan. The greatest session we had this year in our Champions Mastermind. It was 2 hours of Doberman Dan talking about one thing: making money with copywriting. It was absolutely next level. If you don't know who Doberman Dan was, Gary Halbert actually lived with Doberman. He's a pal of mine, crazy cat, and a hell of a copywriter, one of the best in the world. So he spent 2 hours with us. You know, my guys spend $30,000 to be in that room over the year. And, you know, Bill and Steven and Paul and David and Marc-Andre and Leanne said, wow, that's maybe the best session we've ever had this year. So whether it was or whether it wasn't, that's your free bonus when you go to Badass Copy and subscribe to that new print newsletter. I don't like copywriting. I love it. It's my new thing, by the way. Like, I've got 10,000 hours in over the last handful of years studying the Halberts, the Kennedys, Gene Schwartzes, the David Ogilvies, all the greats, the old school. None of these new guru, wet behind the ear tomato cans. They can't write shit. What I'm teaching in my newsletter is what I'm working on, my websites, my videos, my copywriting, how I write, how to make money with freelance clients. You can work for other businesses and make, I don't know, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month. There's so many options when you can when you can put words down on a screen or paper for money. You can literally write yourself a swimming pool, right? Write yourself a second home in Naples, write yourself a trip to Europe, write yourself a home gym. All you have to do is have the skill to sit down and turn words into cash. And that's what this newsletter is all about. It's a quick read. It's going to be 8 to 12 pages, and it's 100% copywriting. No other stuff, no fitness, no world building, none of that stuff. It's just pure 100% copywriting, which is turning words into money for you. Badass copywriting, badass copy, sorry, the link's below, badasscopy.com. And if you subscribe today, I'll throw in my pal Doberman Dan's Champions Mastermind training, which is absolutely worth 2 years of paid subscription. It's $297. It's expensive. It's a boutique newsletter. It's a specialist newsletter. But if you subscribe this week, I'll knock it down to $247. So that's a nice little savings each month. It's like the price of a couple cups of coffee a day. I can't even do the math. I don't even know. My daughter could, but $247 a month, and I mail it to your house or your office, and you get the Doberman training. I mean, that's a nice discount for the next week. It's not for cheapskates. It's not for bargain hunters, and it's not for generalists who just want to learn a little bit about marketing. It's for men and women that want to acquire and develop the skill of copywriting, who want to be able to sit down and write a trip to Europe, sit down and, write a beachside condo, sit down and write a home in the mountains, that kind of stuff. That's what this is about. Badasscopy.coach. 2 words, remember to keep that in mind. Stop in your life. Stop. For God's sake, stop being patient and tolerating stupidity and theft in your life. They work for you. This is your world, your business, your closed society, your gated community. And never, ever, ever, ever forget that. Never, ever, ever, ever forget that part of it. Okay? They work for you. Stop tolerating and being patient with stupidity and theft, and stop tolerating marketing malpractice in your business. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that'll change your life. Be relentless.